Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we are talking about the Crucible, more specifically a brand new mode that just got announced in today's IGN first coverage, and that mode is Survival. So in this video I'm going to go over exactly what that mode is, how it fits into the kind of new Crucible structure, and everything else you guys need to know. So as always, if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think, and also if you guys want to see the full IGN videos, I will link them down below. There are, as always, whenever they do a PvP reveal, there are two. The first one is a walkthrough where Destin speaks with Lars Bakken, talking about the new mode, and the second one is just 9 minutes of raw survival gameplay. So, to begin with, what is Survival? Survival is, as mentioned, a brand new mode, a mode we haven't had in Destiny before, and it belongs in the competitive playlist. Now, for those of you guys that played the beta, you will know that there are currently, at least based on what we've seen, two main kind of blocks for Crucible. There is either quick play, which are the more sort of casual modes that you can kind of just jump into, mess around, have fun with, things like Control, and of course there will be other modes in there too. And you then have the competitive playlist, which is, as the name suggests, a more competitive focused group. Within this, of course, you have Countdown, which is the sort of elimination / bomb planting disposal game mode, kind of like Search and Destroy, and now we have Survival. So Survival is actually kind of described as the spiritual successor to Skirmish, and the way it works is quite simple. Once again, you're in teams of 4, because of course all Crucible stuff in Destiny 2 is 4v4, and you begin the round with 8 lives. Every single time someone on your team dies, you lose a life, and then when you are out of lives completely and the team is wiped, then the opposing team gets a point. The first team to 3 points wins the round. And the reason they say that it's the kind of spiritual successor to Skirmish is of course because, for those of you guys that were around in Destiny 1 when Skirmish was there, it was basically a 3v3 mode set in kind of a team deathmatch format, and then when you died, you were able to kind of revive your teams, but of course if you didn't revive, then you were out for slightly longer. You would of course auto-respawn after, I think it was about 15 seconds if memory serves you correctly, and you could be revived after about 5. But either way, they want to try and sort of take that kind of feeling, but then of course expand it out a little bit, and that's of course how they end up at Survival. It's worth noting that when you die, you'll of course automatically respawn, but that does of course take 1 away from your total life count. So for those of you guys that kind of match into it and say play with people that are lone wolves or Rambos, then you might want to try and think about kind of communicating with them, hence why it's in the kind of competitive playlist, because if someone just runs in and dies 7 or 8 times back to back, then that is basically all your lives gone. So, of course, it is going to be a mode that needs communication. Probably not the best mode for me then, because I do like to play as the Rambo and rush in. Now, on top of that, the other thing you need to know is that during the game, there will only be 1 power ammo spawn, as opposed to the kind of typical Crucible structure, where there are usually 2 power ammos, 1 kind of nearer to each opposing spawn. That way it's kind of fair for each team. This time round, there will only ever be 1 power ammo at the very center of the map. This will be a neutral zone, as they kind of refer to it, and of course the idea behind this is that it then creates conflict. There will be a time, and this will be a very important time during the game mode, because when the power ammo goes live, of course, as you've kind of come to expect from all the other modes, the only person to get the power ammo is the one that collects it. So not only will you have 4 people on your team, you'll also have 4 people on the other team. And in a game like this, where every single life matters, then if you have someone running around with a shotgun, a fusion rifle, a sniper rifle, any kind of power weapon, it is going to be devastating. So that in itself will create some pretty hectic battles. You can kind of be sure that anytime the power ammo is on the field, everyone is going to rush there, and you'll either get it, or you'll kind of be sort of thrown into conflict in the same time, and then just wipe the enemy team, or just die in the process. Point is, that is something else you need to bear in mind. So, in Survival, lives are shared for your team, so that 8 lives I mentioned is across the team. So again, you need to be very careful how you play, and of course power ammo again spawns in a central location, and there is only 1 of them. So it's important to realise that at this stage, they are basically dividing these modes based on where they deem them to sort of be most appropriate within the sort of Destiny sphere. So currently we have 2 competitive modes and 1 quick play mode, but if you guys saw this image that was doing the rounds a little while ago, then there's basically this sort of Destiny 2 press asset that contains different information, and when speaking about the Crucible, it says that the Crucible in Destiny 2 will of course be 4v4, which we know. It says that at launch there will be 10 maps, and it also says that there will be 5 different game modes. So currently we've had 3. Now IGN won't be announcing any more because they've only got 2 more days of IGN first coverage. Tomorrow they're talking about an exotic, and on Friday they have the Bungie Q&A, so that's of course where we get some of our questions answered. So I can only imagine that Bungie themselves will either announce the other two at some point before launch, or maybe they'll just leave them to be a surprise, because right now they have revealed a fair bit, so they might want to keep some things just kind of surprises for us to discover. I would imagine they're probably going to try and sort of roughly balance it out. It might well be 3 kind of quick play modes, 2 in competitive, because of course they probably think that a larger portion of the player base may dive into quick play, but at this stage we really don't know. The other thing worth calling out is, of course, the brand new map. The map they're playing on is called the Altar of Flame, and it is set in an area that looks very similar to that of the kind of lighthouse that you, of course, visit when you complete Trials of the Osiris or you complete your passage. And they did say specifically that this map will have links to Osiris, so I would be willing to bet when they do announce whatever the kind of reimagined version of Trials of Osiris is, probably called Trials of the Nine, based on some of the leaks and rumours from a while ago, then that will probably take place on this map as well as, you know, a few others. But either way, for the time being, that is pretty much it. That is your summary of the brand new mode. It launches with Destiny on September 6th, so it is going to be part of the base game, part of those base 5 modes. So it is a life-based mode, 8 lives per match, defeat the team, get a point, first to 3 points, and you win. So that's it. Again, if you guys want to see the gameplay in full, then check those links out down below. And of course, tune back in tomorrow to find out what the exotic is going to be. Destiny Legendary did clarify on Twitter that they are going to be speaking about an exotic, not lots of exotics. So only expect to see 1 new exotic tomorrow. But either way, it's still going to be pretty damn exciting. So I'll keep you guys up to date. But until then, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.